What's up guys, welcome back to the Haswell-E build series. Now this is part 3 where I go over the benchmarks of the Haswell-E build that I just built. In part 2 you can go ahead and check that out, it's the time-lapse build. If you haven't seen that already, in part 1 goes over all the components that I use for the system. So go ahead and check those out and then go ahead and come back to this one, or if you've already watched those two because you're awesome fans, then you're at the right place. So basically I'm going to compare those two systems, my old 2600K system that's running Z68. As a correction, I accidentally called it Z97 in part 1, but I'm going to be comparing that old system that's maybe 3 or 4 years old now to my brand new Haswell-E editing rig. So we're going to stack up these two systems against each other and just see how they perform. Now all the tests are run at 1920 by 1080 and I'm using all the latest drivers, everything's up to date, so I think we're pretty good to go. And there's a look at the Haswell-E build right there, looking all pretty in the Define R4, and I think that's it. So even though I kind of vaguely described each of the systems, we're still going to go into detail about the hardware that each of them are using. So let's check that out now. All right, so here are the contenders. In the left corner, we have the Core i7 2600K. In the right corner is the Core i7 5960X. So there you guys have it. Those are all the specs of each systems. And honestly, this is going to be a slaughter. I'll let you guys know, and you could probably assume that just given the hardware on both sides. But I do want to give some credit to my old system. It's done very well in the last 3 years I've had it. I've only had one blue screen since I've ever had it, and that was recently. That was like a couple weeks ago. But other than that, it's been flawless, and I absolutely love that system, and I'll still be using it pretty much on the daily. For other tasks. So here we go. There's just kind of an A/B comparison. You can see I've got Z68 versus the new X99 platform using that chipset, and we've got same capacity of memory, although the system number 2 definitely has faster clock speed, and we're running DDR4 of course. Video cards, it's also going to be kind of a slaughter, no comparison there. So GTX 670 versus a 780 Ti. Both Asus cards though, by the way, great brand. And of course cooling is going to be marginally improved by that H100i. And there you go, there's the rest of the specs that you can read. I'm running Windows 7 Ultimate 64-bit on System 1 and Windows 8.1 Pro on System 2. And once again, all these tests are run at stock clock frequency. They're all run at 1920 by 1080. And there you go, let's move on to the benchmarks. So first one, Cinebench R15, of course. We've got an absolute catastrophic win for the 5960X, going from 618 on the 2600K to over 13, just over 1300 on the new platform. And you can also note the maximum CPU temps are in red next to the designated names of the CPUs. So 61 degrees Celsius versus 50 on the new system. It's just, this is pretty much expected, but there you guys have it. On Adobe Premiere Pro CS6, now this is kind of an anomaly, and I'm still kind of baffled at these results because I was expecting the 5930K to perform a lot better than the 2600K. Now keep in mind, lower is better here, so it still beat out the 2600K, but by a very marginal amount. And I was expecting at least like a 60% increase in performance here, and that is measured in seconds. So it took 431 seconds for the 2600K, and 417 seconds for the 5930K. Yeah, it just doesn't add up. So I'm thinking something's wrong here. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. And by the way, I've enabled GPU optimization, Mercury playback engine for Adobe Premiere Pro for both systems. I mean, it's completely in the work, and it's working properly, and still, I'm still seeing very marginal results here. So if you guys have any idea on what I could do to maybe get the results I'm expecting, let me know in the comments, because I'd really love to know. Same with After Effects. I mean, After Effects, a little bit better performance here than the 2600K, but still not exactly I guess the render times that I was expecting. So it's a little odd, but honestly, if you guys can figure it out and let me know in the comments, I will troubleshoot the system and make those changes and see if it runs any faster than what it currently stands at. And if it does, I'll do another video on it, and we can do a round 2 with these benchmarks, specifically for the Adobe Creative Suite. So here's 3D Mark Firestrike Extreme. All the other benchmarks seem to be performing up to par and as expected, especially in the physics score. I mean, keep in mind, physics score is taxing the CPU a lot more than the GPU, for example. So obviously we've got 9,000 to almost 16,000, which is amazing. It's a huge performance boost. And lastly, I thought I would throw a 3D render test in there just to show off that GTX 780 Ti that's oh so glamorous. I had to have one gaming benchmark in there, so here we have Metro Last Light, and obviously you can just kind of see it's a testament to the 780 Ti. The Matrix from Asus is just dominating in this, of course. So 129 average, 47 average FPS to 85. That's nearly double, guys. So I guess that's once again pretty expected, but it's also nice to see. All right, guys, so there you have the benchmarks, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below of these results. And I think that concludes this Haswell-E build series. So thank you all very much for being a part of it. Please let me know what you guys think of this series in the comments as well. And toss me a like and please favorite the video. It helps me a lot on the search rankings and helps me get seen so I get more support and hopefully create better content for you guys. And also I apologize for part 3 coming out a little bit later than the first 2 videos in the series. As you can tell, I've kind of relocated to a new place. I'm no longer living where I was. I had a huge move this last week, so things look a little different. I have a lot more space though, which is awesome. So possibly stay tuned for a room tour or a new studio tour in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Kyle with Awesome Sauce Network. I'll see you guys in the next one.